Okay, everyone, well, welcome. So my name is Shannon, and I have decided finally, after a long time, to go ahead and start making my debt-free journey video series with you. There's lots of other people out here on the internet who are doing the same kind of thing, sharing their debt-free journey, sharing their lifestyle, their life, and how they live their life debt-free, how they're saving and investing and planning for retirement, living well, giving generously, all that sort of thing. So I decided it's my turn. So I'm out here this late afternoon. I don't know if you can quite tell, these snow-capped mountains. I'm currently living in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I've lived most of my adult life. But I thought this would be a beautiful, nice, quiet place to come out here and share my story with you because it's so quiet except for me talking. It's very serene. We've got the Red Rock Loop where you can drive like a 13-mile thing, and it's just beautiful out here. So here's the story. I am currently, as I'm making this video, it's January 2017. I just turned 47 years old. 47 years old about a month ago. And here's my story. So I was born in Southern California to parents who were, let's say, not well off. On my father's side of the family, nobody's really well off. On my mom's side of the family, different story. My mom was, let's say, mentally unstable. She was mentally ill. She was married a grand total of 7 times. My first stepfather was in the radio business, so although we led an interesting life, we were on a lot of celebrities, TV, music industry, taking limousines to the babysitters and things like that. We were never really what I would say living well off. My mom, I think partially because of her mental illness, really didn't believe that women should work. Although she did work before I was born, but she had me pretty young. And during my life, kind of in between husbands and what have you, she would work little odd jobs here and there, like a barmaid, a restaurant hostess. Just menial jobs. Not that they're menial, but not high-paying jobs. She didn't go to college, that sort of a thing. But anyway, my mom, because she didn't work much or she worked low-wage jobs in between husbands, a lot of the time when she wasn't married, we were on welfare. That was humiliating. I'm talking food stamps. At the store, I'm talking taking the bus. And I knew as a young person that when I grew up, I did not want to live that way because I had relatives that didn't live that way. So, and obviously I knew something wasn't quite right with my mom. The unfortunate thing is that although I lived with her parents, my maternal grandparents, for a lot of my growing up years, and they were quite well off. They were very wise with their money, and nobody taught me about money, how it worked, how to use it wisely, that sort of a thing. So adults, please speak into the lives of children around you, even if they're not your children, if they're relatives or whatever, please teach them about smart money management. But anyway, so when I got to be after I graduated high school, I lived in another state. I lived in Alabama when I went to high school, and I didn't like it there. So as soon as I graduated, I went back home and I lived with my grandparents. I worked full-time and I went to school part-time. But still nobody taught me about smart money management. When I was 18, of course, you know, you get those credit card offers in the mail, and I thought, woohoo, I'm an adult, I can get a credit card. And I have to say, I don't think I was entirely 100% certain on how credit cards worked or that you even had to pay the money back. So I got my first credit card. It was like a low balance, maybe $300 or $500 credit card. And I started using it, and then I got a bill in the mail, and I was like, what? I have to pay this back with interest? What is this interest stuff? So I quickly learned that credit cards were bad, and I got rid of the credit card. And fast forward that, I'm putting myself through school, paying cash along the way, because I knew, at least I knew enough that I knew I did not want student loan debt. I knew debt was bad. And I paid cash for cars, kind of like how Dave Ramsey teaches, although I didn't know who Dave Ramsey was at that time. Paid cash for my first car, saved up, sold that one, used the money from the sale, plus the money I had saved to buy another one, and so on and so forth, and I was kind of moving up the ladder. In the meantime, though, I had a baby, I was a single mom, I had to quit school for a little while, then I got married, had another baby, and then I quickly got divorced. So I was a single mom not once, but twice. So school was definitely on hold for a while. I eventually did go back and got my associate's degree, but it took a long, long time. And during all those years I was a single parent, I did work 2 jobs. And it was tough. Looking back, I don't even know how I did it. But eventually then I did get married again, and I've been married for almost 14 years now. And even before my husband and I got married, we were together as a couple for about 6.5 years. But even though I was pretty smart with money, I didn't really have a written budget, but I didn't have debt. I had no car debt, no student loan debt, no credit cards. Although the one thing I didn't have was a big savings account because I didn't make a ton of money and I really should have had a written budget. The man who became my husband, on the other hand, let's just say he's the free spirit, and I'm definitely the nerd. How I first discovered Dave Ramsey is I worked nights, and one night I was driving home from work, flipping around stations, and I found Dave Ramsey. And immediately I knew that what he was talking about was the exact plan that we needed. So somehow I scraped together the money to get the Total Money Makeover book, and I read it cover to cover within a couple of days. My husband, however, would not read the book. He was not on board with the plan, completely shunned it. And so it's been a constant battle for a long time, trying to get him on board with good money management and saving and things like that, to say the least. So we were pretty gazelle intense for a few months, and then we had to put everything on pause. Over the years, we've had my mom, who was terminally ill, came to live with us. She eventually passed away after living with us for a very long time. And during the time that my mom lived with us and she was ill, we had some job issues. So I had to quit my good-paying full-time job to stay home with her, had a part-time job. My husband had a really good-paying job with our power company, and his job went away. They completely eliminated his department. We knew this was coming, so he did have another job lined up, but his income went almost in half. Then I did a complete career change, and after my complete career change, which I followed my dream and I became a flight attendant, and that led to my second dream, all at the same time, switching careers and leaving the state of Nevada and moving to Florida. Once I got to the point where I graduated flight attendant school and we were moving to Florida, I realized we didn't have any money to move. So here we go again with more debt after we were working the plan for a little while. So then towards the end of 2014, we had to take another personal loan to cover moving expenses to move to Florida for my new career. Once we got there, that all fell apart. I couldn't do my new career job because I was sick all the time, motion sick. It was horrible. It was devastating. My husband's job transferred him from Nevada to Florida, so that part was good. But the cost of living in Florida for renting is very expensive, so our income was down, our expenses were up. It was a recipe for disaster. So we stuck it out for the year that we had our lease in the apartment, came back to Nevada. When we came back to Nevada, we both went right back to our old jobs. I was working 2 jobs, the same 2 jobs I had before we left, and my husband's job just transferred him back. So that part was all good and well. And then I decided to do a career change again, staying in the same field, but with a different job that was a promotion, making a lot more money. And then that all fell apart. So now I'm back to square one. Another job issue, another income issue. So I'm working full-time again, 1 job. I'm in the process of getting a second night job. My husband is in sales. He's doing as well as he can. And so we are once again gazelle intense. So between the time that we started and then had to stop and then started again, it's been probably a total of, say, about 15 months that we've been gazelle intense in getting this debt paid off. And we are determined. We've had many setbacks in between the job issues and the illness and the incomes. We've had medical issues, not just with people, but also with pets. That bills can be pretty expensive. So we've been set back thousands of dollars. And it was discouraging. I was very discouraged for a while, very discouraged, thinking we're never going to get through this. But you know what? We're people of faith, and we know that God is with us, and we know that God provides. And relying on Him first and foremost is key, and then working our tails off. I've never been afraid or shied away from hard work. Most of my life I've worked 2 jobs. But I have to be honest, this year that we've been back in Nevada, I don't know why, it seems like we've been intense, but we're just not where we need to be. Even with the setbacks, we should have more money going towards debt than we have. And I'm not sure where the glitch is. I'm sure some of you out there have experienced that before, where something just isn't right and you can do more, but you just don't know or why you're stuck. But we're focused, and we're going to sit down and have another budget meeting here real soon. And we're just going to have to cut more expenses and work more hours. That's really all we can do at this point. So that's what we'll be doing very soon. As far as the numbers are concerned, all in all, the whole big picture, we're looking at about $70,000 in debt. At this point, as of now, we've paid off over $20,000. But still, it just doesn't seem like it's enough progress yet. But we'll get there. We're going to get there because we have a goal. And our goal is to become debt-free as soon as possible. Obviously, build that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And then get our behinds back to Florida. We loved Florida so much, I can't even tell you. So that is our #1 goal. That is our big motivation. You have to have a why. And Florida is our why. So we will be going back to Florida. And we will take you on that journey with us. And it's going to be awesome. So thank you for listening to my rambling, listening to my story. This is my introduction to who I am, where we're at, and what we're doing. And I appreciate all your videos out there for you singles and couples who are on your debt-free journey as well. I think in our little community, it's important for us to hold each other accountable and keep each other focused and encourage each other. I'm encouraged by so many of your stories, and I've had other people tell me that I'm encouraging to them, which then in turn encourages me to keep going. So encouragement all around, lots of love all around. Let's do this.